guys, I don't have a camera person today, so we're going to see how this goes. But we've got our quail eggs in finally, and we're going to attempt to get them set in the incubator. So I want you guys to see how that goes and actually what happens with it. So first and foremost, we've got bobwhite quail eggs that we're going to be working with. Typically what I get for school is Korchnitz quail, kind of a bigger size quail with a little bit bigger eggs. And the eggs for the Korchnitz quail, hopefully you don't get too seasick here as I move you around. The eggs for the Korchnitz quail actually, ignore my messy cabinets, look something like this. As you can see, they're pretty itty bitty, kind of darker colored, okay? So we'll take one of these here and kind of compare and contrast a little bit. Sorry for that zoomed in look at my face. So what we've got here for our bobwhite quail. So with our bobwhite quail, you'll see the eggs are just a little bit smaller. We'll see if we can kind of get a good shot of comparing and contrasting here. Actually, these two are about the same size, but we've got a big bobwhite, and we've got a pretty little Korchnitz. So you can see they're roughly the same size, but you can see the difference. Anyway, with the Korchnitz eggs here, or the bobwhite eggs here, I ordered 30 of them, and unfortunately, they didn't ship overly great. So we have 20 of them that we've got set out on the plate here that I've double checked, that look good and are ready to go, not cracked. Unfortunately, we've got, I think I counted about 13 or 11 or so still left in this foam. This is what they came in. They got shipped in a box on the outside of the box. Sorry for making you seasick. You'll see, you can see it says fragile, live fertile hatching eggs, handle with care, no x-ray. Anyway, there was also foam on the top right here that this came packaged in, so they were completely surrounded by foam, top, bottom, and all the sides, but unfortunately some of these little guys are cracked all the way through. Now to get them out of here rather than squeezing, basically what I did was pull this up and then gently push on them from the bottom up to kind of shoot them out of there, as you can see here. Now this little guy isn't cracked too bad, except for right here. We can kind of see them popped open just a little bit. So, as I explained to the kids, we can't really put those in the incubator because they will dry out too fast, and any potential chick that would happen to grow in a cracked egg would be exposed to a lot of things. Plus, it's going to start to stink. So, we've got these 20 that we're going to get set. This is our incubator that we've got set here. This is a Hoverbator incubator. So, you can see maybe kind of my model number here. Obviously I've got scribbled all over it, do not unplug, bump, touch, just to warn everybody, hey, be careful. I've also got everything lined up over here to make sure people aren't unplugging my incubator. So the incubator has been set for 2 days, so I went through and make sure it was the proper temperature. So I don't know if we can see inside of there or not. Don't think we can really tell much, but the incubator is currently set at 100 degrees. Quail eggs will need to be between about 98 and 100 degrees to incubate for 18 days. It needs to be set at about 40% humidity, and then the last couple of days the humidity needs to bump up to be about 60%, because the more humid it is in there, the easier of a time the chick's going to have when it actually goes to hatch. So inside of my incubator, the goal is to leave this open. Sorry, but I need 2 hands for this. The goal is to leave the incubator open as little as possible. Now inside the incubator, hopefully here you can see things a little bit better, maybe. So there we've got my thermometer on the bottom. This black piece with the slats in it that's connected to that little motor is the turner. Eggs need to be turned usually about a full rotation every 24 hours. You can see my heater kind of on the top element here. So my goal is to leave this closed as much as possible. There's a tray on the bottom that has water you can't see. My goal is to leave this closed as much as possible. Basically what I'm doing with my eggs, I've got marked on one side just with pencil an X and on the other side an O. So that way I can tell if my turner is working properly, X and O. And all I'm going to do is very carefully take my eggs, and I'm just going to start from the center of the incubator, and I'm going to line them all up X side up so I can make sure they're turning properly. And I'm just going to start putting them in. Hopefully you can see that. Just going to start very carefully setting them in, all kind of in a line, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to use 2 hands. We're going to get the rest of these put in, but that's kind of what it looks like to get our eggs set in the incubator. About 18 days from now, we should have a bunch of little baby quail.